Guys, Nicole here. Today I wanted to share with you my story and my journey and how I got to where I am today. So we'll let everybody jump on real quick. Good morning, guys. You guys are jumping on quick. I didn't get a chance yesterday. I wanted to share my story yesterday and my journey, but I didn't get a chance. So this morning is it. Good morning, guys. So good to see you all. Look at my new shirt. It's Wonder Woman. Isn't that fun? I know you need to share yours, Annalie. Seriously, like I saw this shirt at Target because yes, I am a Target shopper because if I don't get it at Target or Stitch Fix, it doesn't end up in my closet. But I saw this and was like, yes, this can be like my Power Girl shirt, my Wonder Woman shirt. So, anyway, it's not like the most flattering shirt in the world, but it's super cute and it makes me laugh. So it works for, yes, go to Target today. They had like some really fun like Marvel shirts and stuff like that. Oh, you don't have Target? Go to Target.com then. But I love Target because it's cheap, it's decent quality, and it's way better than Walmart. Hashtag Walmart hater right here. Yes. That's awesome. Okay, guys, so let me get started because I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but I wanted to share it with you. So again, my name is Nicole Vincent. I am a Diamond with doTERRA, so I'm a network marketing professional. I'm a holistic health coach and an empowerment coach as well. And I feel so strongly about there is power in our stories. There's power in our experience, and we each have unique experiences and unique gifts that the world needs from us. And so I kind of wanted to share with you guys how I arrived and I don't feel like I've arrived, but how I've gotten to where I am at this point and the things that I've experienced. So a little background. So I grew up in a pretty loving home. Both my parents loved me very much. They didn't love each other so much. And so it was a little crazy sometimes. And my parents divorced when I was 13, which had a pretty big impact on me, and that rippled into a lot of areas of my life. You know, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, which the divorce had nothing to do with me. But as a child, we kind of internalized that, right? And so that kind of started me on a journey of making different choices that weren't necessarily the best choices in my life. And my parents were always, they were always very, very good to me. And I love my parents very, very much. But because of their choices, that had a ripple effect. And, oh shoot, I'm already getting emotional, guys. This is not good. Okay. So fast forward, I got married. My husband and I met in college, and I was my freshman year of college. So, I was very young, and we got married right when I was 20. I had just turned 20. And my husband was only 23. So we were very, very young. And, but we knew that we were such good friends. We loved each other, and we knew that we could make this work. And I'm very grateful that I got young, but at the same time, it's like, oh, I could have learned so much more, but my journey is my journey. And so this is what my journey has taught me. And so getting married very young, I got lost in the monotony of wifehood and motherhood and got swallowed up in that. Have you guys ever felt that you just kind of get lost in this like dark pit of despair? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love my children, but it was like this day in and day out. It was just like, you know, taking care of the children, trying to keep your head above water and not murder small things running around your house. And it was just, I was stuck in that. And seriously, guys, like, I know that sounds awful for those that don't have kids, but guys, kids are the most amazing blessing and the most beautiful thing that you can learn from. That don't ever put off having children for that reason, because they are the biggest blessing. But the biggest blessings are going to come when we go through hard things, right? When we go through difficult circumstances. And so, we've been married a couple years. I had a couple kids, and it was just really hard. And my husband was trying to get his career established, and so he was working long hours, and I totally lost me. And I don't even know if I had ever found me, because right out of high school, I went to college, and pretty soon into college, it was my second semester is when I met my husband. And so I never transitioned into me, okay? And so I had this about 10-year period where I was lost, guys. I was so lost. And looking back, it's hard, and it wasn't terrible years. It wasn't like I was hating every minute of my life, but I didn't have an identity. I didn't have who I was, other than, well, I'm a wife and I'm a mom, but I have no passion. I have nothing that validates me, that we're gonna block some people. And guys, if you see creepers on here, because my eyes are a little blurry from crying, then please feel free to block them. And I don't want to negate how much I love my children and I love my husband, but in this moment, it was just kind of like this deafening, blinding place that it's like, I have no idea where I am. I have no idea who I am, and no idea where I'm going. And 10 years, like looking back, I'm like 10 years of that. Like, so that's hard. And so as I'm going through life, I had my fourth child, and that shift, I had her 5 days before I turned 30, and turning 30, and it was my 10-year anniversary, and my hormones were totally whacked out, and I plummeted into a severe postpartum depression. Severe. And I've struggled with depression most of my life, but this was at a point that I was ready to basically flush my life down the toilet and just go away. Like, and I'm not talking, I wasn't suicidal, but just like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. It was kind of that, it was a very painful awakening of like, how the hell did I get to this point in my life? And so I had been checked out for so long, and I was just, at this point, I'm like, I don't even know what to do with my life. Like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want. I don't know. I don't know. And it was this giant question mark of my life, and this giant enigma that I had no idea how I was going to get out of it. And so I went on, this is pre-doTERRA. So I went on medication, and that helped me. It gave me that step up that I needed to start figuring me out and figuring out what I needed to do to find who I was and who I wanted to be. And so it was a really, really, really hard time. But it was the time that I needed, that I was able to turn to God, and I was able to, yes, Angela, totally, it took the edge off. And it gave me a place that I could at least have some kind of cohesive thought, because when you're in that deep state of depression, you're not thinking rationally. You're not making rational decisions. You're just trying to figure, you're grasping at straws, basically. And so as as I'm in this place, and I'm starting to get better, and I'm on this medication. I was on it for about 3.5 years. And I was getting to the point that I was getting very, very apathetic. And you guys that have been following me for a while, you know, like numbing myself, like turning off all emotion was what kept me safe for most of my life. I had totally shut off emotion. But this really shut off any remote kind of emotion after being on that medication for 3 years. I was totally apathetic. Like, I've always loved attending church and connecting with God, but this medication was making me to the point that I didn't even care about that. It's like, I'm just going to sit here on the couch and play some more Facebook games for another 8 hours, and, but hey, I'm here, I'm good. I don't care about it. And it was just, it was time for that medication to go away. It had served its purpose, but it wasn't serving it anymore. And so I started weaning off that medication, and it was hard. It was really hard. And, I had we thought I was having a heart condition. It was really hard on my body. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to have to deal with depression the rest of my life. I'm just going to have to figure out how to pull myself up by the bootstraps and keep pushing forward and figure this out. And that was scary when you feel you don't have any tools and you don't have any hope. And that's a scary place. And that's kind of where I felt I was. But I knew that I couldn't stay on that medication because of the way that it was completely unplugging me from any kind of feeling. And so I was praying for help, and I didn't know where this help was going to come from because I needed some direction in my life. And I've always been a church-going, faithful person. I've always had that connection with God. And that was something that was always there. But it was just at this point that I was like, I need something more. I need to know my purpose. I need to know why I'm here. Not just the big picture, not just the big idea. I need to know for me, why am I here? And so along comes my sweet friend Megan. Megan, I love you so much. And she came down to Houston. She had lived here before, and she came down to teach an oil class. And I didn't care about, oh, Megan, there you are. I love you so much. And so I didn't even really care about the oils. I really didn't. I just wanted to see my friend. And so I went to her class, and it was just it was weird. I'm not going to lie, these are kind of weird. These are smelly little things in a brown bottle, and you're passing them around, and you're telling me they can do all these things. I don't know. And Megan, I love Megan, but Megan, she's a little ADD. And so it was kind of all over the place. But I'm a little ADD too, so it kind of, we can follow each other. But it was, and she wasn't getting to the point, and that's okay, because I'm kind of just get to the point. Tell me, what's the deal? And, because I was intrigued by the concept, because that had never crossed my mind before. And so at this point, during my postpartum, I had gained 40 pounds, and you guys have seen me, I'm a little person. I'm small. And so gaining 40 pounds was quite a bit, and I had been heavier, and I had finally started to exercise and change my diet a little bit. And at this class, it was this okay, so we talk about when you hear the Spirit, it's kind of a still, small voice, right? But this was a loud screaming in my head, you need to do this. This will change your life. Now, when you hear that from God, that's a little scary, especially when there's these weird oils that who knows what is passing around, right? But it wouldn't shut up. And so Megan, I stayed after. I think I was one of the last people that left, right, Megan? And I was so, what do you do? You just go around teaching people about this? And I kept asking questions, which she probably I don't know. And Megan was on the prowl. She was there to get me. And so it was, but I wasn't ready. I was still super, super skeptical that these oils would even work, because I was so anti-natural. I thought anything natural was weird. I didn't want to be like the hippie people. I didn't want anything to do with that. I am just give me a pill, actually give me 5 and we're good. That was my philosophy. And so as I was in this class, and I keep hearing this, you need to do this. You need to do this. This will change your life. That voice would not shut up. 2 months, Megan called me probably weekly. Her and Mike were calling me all the time. I'm dude, they're calling again, Matt. I need to ignore this. Sorry, Megan. I love you. But they kept calling me because Megan knew. And she kept following up. She is a great example of following up, because I really was dude, no, I'm not ready. I bought my book. I'm not buying these smelly oils. I'm not doing this. And yes, she is. Megan's the one who did the Wizard of Oz at the presentation at Leadership a couple years ago. And so it just cracks me up, because so probably about 2 months, she's dude, my friend Marissa is coming down to Houston. she's trying to get her business started. Will you host a class for her so that she can get some practice? And I'm like, oh, fine, whatever. The whole time, same thing. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this. Every time doTERRA came up, anytime Megan showed up on Facebook, I was like, you need to do this. You need to do this. And I'm like, I don't want to listen. And it was just, so Marissa came down. I hosted a class. We had like 15 people there. And the voice is still there. And I'm like, oh, I'm buying the dumb oils so those will shut up. And so, but at that class, as Marissa's presenting, and I'm so grateful that Megan brought Marissa into my life this way. So as Marissa's presenting, I'm like, you know what? I'm a good teacher. I love to teach, and I love to help people know their options. I'm all about choice, and I'm all about options. And so I felt very strongly that people needed to know that there was another way. And so I bought my kit and I said, okay, Marissa. And in my mind, I'm justifying this, right? Because we try to logic it out. We can't just go on emotion sometime, right? So I'm trying to logic it out. I'm like, okay, well, you know, this can be like for our emergency preparedness. This can be our backup. That's kind of how I was justifying it. That's how I justified it to my husband. And oh, you should have come up, Angie. We would have loved to say hi. But so that's how I justified it when I told Marissa, I'm like, Marissa, look, I will teach people about these oils. I really feel that people need to know that there's another way. But, and this was a huge, I am not doing this business. I am not going to be one of those home business moms that has parties and makes you feel guilty for not buying that spatula. Like, I'm not going to be that person. And Marissa's like, yeah, right. Like, because guys, if you're teaching classes, if you're sharing this, guess what? You're doing the business. And awesome, Rachel. And seriously, like, and really the first probably 6 months, like I was casual about it, but it was lighting this fire inside me. And it wasn't even like the oils really, they were working miracles in my life, but having this purpose and finding that I was really good at something and that I could have passion. Like, what is this passion you speak of? Like, I was never really a passionate person. Unless it came to like Harry Potter. Like, I was pretty passionate about Harry Potter and the Twilight, but it was this new side of myself that I didn't even know existed. And it was waking me up. And as I was using these oils, I was using them to help support my body. But oh my gosh, guys, like, remember that numb I was talking about? It was just opening up emotion for me. I was able to feel again. And that was huge. I hadn't felt in years, guys, like more than a decade. I hadn't felt. And I was feeling. And that was huge, because when you've gone through life for so many years without feeling, you're just trying to survive day to day. That was huge. And I wasn't even using the oils for emotional things. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can cry and I can feel, and I'm feeling like loving feelings, and I'm feeling joy, and I'm feeling happiness. And so I started learning more about the emotional side, because that was kind of came out of left field for me. And the emotional side was what spoke to me. I was like, oh, this is my platform. This is what I need to talk about. And I just kept learning and seeing how powerful these essential oils were, physically and emotionally. And as I was able to open that emotion, and oh gosh, guys, it just opened up this new world. And I'm like, oh my gosh, people need to know about this. And I kept learning and growing and pushing through these goals, because I had never had goals before. And I was scared of goals. Like, and even just until probably about a year ago, if you asked me to set a goal, I would cry. My sweet upline, Sarah Savage, she would call me. She's like, well, what are your goals, Nicole? You know, we're doing a mentor call. And I would just start crying, because I was like so scared of goals. And because I was so scared of failure. But this journey, right? This journey that doTERRA, this multi-level marketing, this network marketing company was taking me on, pushing me out of my comfort zone and pushing me to be just a little bit better. I wasn't having to be great yet, just a little bit better, just a little bit of progress. And God kept giving me little markers along the way, right? He kept giving me little nudges like, okay, you're doing the right thing. Like people would show up in my life at the right time, right when I was about to quit. I was about probably 9 months into sharing doTERRA and trying to grow this business. And I was just, it was just so many obstacles. And it was just like, I just can't do this anymore. Like I can't take having another class and not have anybody show up or have another person tell me no, like I can't take it. And when I was at that point, like then somebody would show up and say yes. And then it gave me just a little bit of hope to hang in there a little bit longer. And I had been doing classes consistently, weekly, for probably about 2 or 3 months. And I was getting very minimal from it. And we'll talk about goals at another one. I really want to stay on the jive, so I finish in time so I can get to my kids' school to volunteer at the library with mascara running down my face. It's all good. But right about when I was really like, I'm like, I am just done. I'm done. Yeah, if you guys follow me, I do talk about emotions a lot, so please make sure you're following me. And so Roxy Saran came into my life, and she is an amazing, amazing woman that God just... There's no way I would have met her otherwise, but God basically plopped our paths together, and because I think we needed each other at that time, and I still learned so much from her, and she truly has been a blessing. But I was about to quit, and she came in, and she was on fire. She had so much hope and so much drive, and she had so many gifts that I didn't have, and she just hit the ground running. She hit silver in 4 months and just got me so excited that, oh my gosh, this actually works. This plan actually works. Because I was like this close from saying, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But God knew, right? And so just those little things along the path showing me that this is the right path. And he's still like, those path markers still come along. And it's usually in the form of people. And little angels that are going to come along and just be what I need at that point. And sometimes they're not comfortable. Sometimes it's like, ooh, I don't want to stretch here, but they're there when I need them. But this journey was facilitated through doTERRA. And not just the products. The products, guys, are freaking amazing. They are top notch, and I will never be without them. But the journey that this has taken me on, the self-development that I've had to go through to level up each time, that's something that can never be taken away from me. I don't care if FDA comes in and takes away all my oils and doTERRA. Actually, I do care. That's why I really try to be compliant. But if they did, guys, they cannot take away what I've learned and the person who I have become. And that is why this is such a valuable journey. That is why it's worth pushing through those obstacles. That is why it is worth leveling up and pushing through the hard times, because guys, that can never be taken away from you. And that can be applied to every area of your life. Every area of your life will be better because, oh, I love you, Megan. Every area of your life can be better because of the journey that you take yourself on. So yes, I share and teach about essential oils, but what I am passionate about is taking people on a journey that can lead them to the person that God knows that they can become. And that is why I love this profession. That is why I love what I do. And I still am in awe every day that I am rewarded monetarily for helping others become better, for helping myself become better, for helping others become healthier. And it all started when I just wanted to see my friend. Okay? So guys, especially if you're just starting out, this could be the answer to your prayers. And you could be the answer to many people's prayers. I know I've had so many people come to me and let me know that I have been an answer to their prayers. And I don't say that pridefully, but I can't tell you how rewarding that is to know that you are the instrument in God's hands for good. And that is what, for me, that is my purpose. I want to serve, and I want to do what he knows I can do. And I can't do that if I'm sitting on the couch completely checked out of life, not plugged in to him and not plugged into me. So guys, if you're in the thick of it right now, let me tell you, there's hope. There's hope. It's not an easy fix. It's not a fast fix, but there's hope. It's that putting one foot in front of the other every day. It's making those little steps and following those little voices, those little promptings that are leading you to be a little bit better. So, thanks, Angie. So, there's so much hope out there, guys. And I am speaking from somebody, I've walked the walk. And now I get to teach, and I get to help, and I get to inspire others. But guess what? I still get to grow, guys. I still get to grow and learn and become more, because there's still so much more that I can become. And God knows that. And I'm partnering with him in everything so that I can do what he knows I can do. And he can magnify the gifts that he's given me. And that's not unique to me, guys. That's for everybody. And it's amazing. And there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be obstacles. And those are markers saying, you know what? You're on the right path. Keep pushing through. And so, yes, I am so imperfect. Guys, seriously, like I screw up all the time. But you know what? There's no mistake that cannot be undone or cannot be remedied in some form or fashion. And to me, mistakes are just ways to learn. And failures are just ways to learn. So guys, thank you for being with me today. I hope that some or part or all of my story has helped you in some way. Just keep doing a little bit better every day. You don't have to have an extreme makeover overnight. It's small and simple steps. Go read The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Those small and simple steps are going to help you improve every area of your life. Okay? So, and don't quit, guys. To me, quitting is not an option. And if you feel like quitting, call somebody that inspires you. Connect with somebody that is going to see something more than you're seeing in yourself at that time. Because when we want to quit, it's usually because we're feeling really, really negative about ourselves, right? So talk to somebody that is able to see the goodness in you and let you know about that. And so guys, I love you all. I really do. And I'm so thankful for this platform to be able to connect with you. And I feel the love. I really do. I feel it coming through technology. I love it. And I hope you guys feel my heart and my love for you as well. Because it really is there. I do love you guys. I really do. And I don't say that lightly. I do. And I'm so grateful, and I know that because of technology is such a blessing, God uses it for us. And I know that our paths have crossed for a specific reason. And I learn from you guys as well. So with that being said, I need to go touch up my makeup before I go to the school and scare small children and sell books at the book fair. So I love you all. Have a fabulous, fabulous Friday, guys. Share your story. It doesn't have to be on Periscope, but share your story. Write it out, even if you only share it with yourself, but share your story. Because your story is powerful and your story is important. I love you all. Have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for all the hearts. Thank you for all the shares. Sell books with passion. Yay, Judy B. Jones. Just kidding. It's a good book series. Oh my gosh. Love you. Adios, guys. Have a fabulous Friday. Bye-bye.